the so-called liberal. He's a pretty liberal guy.
Why do you think
No,
so?
I spoke to him yesterday. He couldn't have been nicer. And I congratulated him. You know, it was a very mixed signal because it's almost even, which makes it very complicated for the country. It's a pretty tight race. But he's a very nice gentleman, and he's going to come to the White House very shortly, within the next week or less.
Mr.
President,
President, when will you
President-
speak to President Xi of China? When will you
That'll
speak to
happen.
him?
I mean, look, right now, and I told you before, they're having tremendous difficulty because their factories are not doing business. They made $1 trillion with Biden, $1 trillion, even $1.1 trillion selling us stuff. Much of it we don't need. You know, somebody said, oh, the shelves are going to be open. Well, maybe the children will have $2 instead of $30, you know. And maybe the $2 will cost a couple of bucks more than they would normally. But we're not talking about something that we have to go out of our way. They have ships that are loaded up with stuff, much of which, not all of it, but much of which we don't need. And we have to make a fair deal. We've been ripped off by every country in the world, but China, I would say, is the leading one, the leading candidate for the chief ripper offer. There has never been a country that's been ripped off more than the United States of America under some of the dumbest leadership, and it usually starts with the president. And you can go back, and I'm not just talking about Biden. It's been the worst. I mean, the trade deficits and everything else, he's been the worst. But he had no idea what he was doing. And I think somebody ought to look at the auto pen to find out who was really running this country, because it wasn't Biden. Because nobody could agree to what he agreed to.
Sir, what's your message for the girl who doesn't
He
get
put our
her job?
country at risk, at tremendous risk, and fiscal risk, financial risk. So I think we have it very much. I really believe that the next 100 days is going to be even better than this. Look, I read an editorial yesterday from a group that normally wouldn't write a good, that this is the most consequential presidency in history, in the history of our country. This is not a particular group that would write that kind of an editorial, but they see what we're doing and what we had to do. And I believe if this group, not just me, if this group wasn't here, I think our country was going to be in, if it was lucky, just serious trouble, but a lot worse than that. I think our country could have been a total disaster. Bad things were happening with our country, and we've stemmed the tide, we've turned it around, but we're going to really turn it around over the next 3 years, 3.5 years, we're going to turn it around, and then hopefully it'll be in such great shape. That's my goal, to put it in such great condition that it can't be destroyed.
Do you believe?
Thank you very much, sir. You mentioned this last night in your speech in Macomb, that we're facing an unprecedented situation where there's a lot of abuses of nationwide injunctions, sort of seemingly designed to curtail your power, specifically when it comes to deporting these illegal, violent aliens that came in under the previous administration. Have you spoken to your team about ways to mitigate this and continue to deliver for the American people on
Well,
that
there
aspect?
are ways to mitigate it, and there's some very strong ways. There's one way that's been used by 3 very highly respected presidents, but we hope we don't have to go that route. But there is one way that has been used very successfully by 3 presidents, all highly respected, and hopefully we don't have to go that way. But there are ways of mitigating that. I want to thank you all very much. I thought this was an incredible cabinet meeting. I think there's probably has never been a cabinet meeting like this. You've never seen it on tape, that I can tell you. And I want to just congratulate everybody at the table, but we have a lot of work to do, but we're off to a great start. Thank you very much,
Do you
everybody.
enjoy Mr. President maybe in the White House back? Second time?
Thank you,
How's your life here?
Thank you, everybody.
I'm working hard. I like my life. I'm working hard, but I like it because we're doing a lot of good for a lot of people. Thank you very much.
Thank you, President.
Thank you.
kan håndtere en sånn spesiell anledning. Og hvis de ikke håndterer den, så er det ingen som blir skutt, eller vi opptrer som et lag, vi vinner sammen, vi taper sammen, vi presterer sammen. Og så tar vi alltid med oss noen læring på veien, som gjør at vi over tid antageligvis får utvikling. Så det er også inngangen nå, at jeg stoler veldig på spillerne sine prosesser i forhold til at de får prate sammen, vi prøver å være tydelig konkret på hva som er viktig inn i denne kampen, og så stoler jeg på at de har redskapene til å stå i det.
Hvor stor er den kampen her for deg personlig?
How big is this match for you personally?
Nei, jeg er utrolig stolt av å representere Glimt det Glimt er, og alle de som på en måte har fulgt Glimt over tid, og så er det klart at det å få drive med det en liker best i livet, med folk som du er utrolig glad i, og ikke minst teste deg mot bedre motstandere på større anledninger, det er gjevt. Ekstremt lærerikt, og så får jeg reflektere mer over det om noen år, men jeg er utrolig glad for at jeg har vært med på den reisen som jeg har vært med på i Glimt.
I forlengelsen av det du snakker om kultur, altså folk lo jo litt når du hentet hjem en etter en som hadde vært ute. Det å kunne på en måte ha tatt deg til en Europa-league-semifinale nå, hva betyr det med tanke på å vise vei for oss fotball?
Jo, altså vi tror på vår retning. Vi sier vår måte. Og vår måte, den må du være tro mot. Det må vi tørre å gjøre. Og så er det helt sikkert noen som ler av deg på veien. Og det personlig så driter jeg ikke det. Altså, det bruker jeg null energi på. Det å få taste seg ute på en annen arena. For noen går det bra, for noen går det mindre bra, men det er en erfaring det også. Men vi har en kultur, en tenkemåte der vi fremhever laget. Skal du være med i Glimt, så må du gå all in i laget. Går du all in i laget, så er paybacken enorm. Og det er noe med det å være på den reisen sammen med spillerne, og da får vi plutselig utvikling, og forhåpentligvis alle dere som sitter her kjenner vår reise. Så i 2017 var vi i Obos, og jeg tror det at både i Norge så viser det at det er mulig for alle, men jeg tror jo vi er med i Europaligaen. Det er mange mindre nasjoner, mindre lag, så jeg tror det gjelder akkurat det samme der. Når Glimt kan klare det, kan veldig mange andre klare det. Så det bør være med 2 streker under svaret.
4. februar så fikk du spørsmål av